A company valued at $1.5 billion. Investors, including a name synonymous with the entire tech industry. A product marketed as an AI so advanced, it could build you a working app just by describing it in plain English. And behind the interface, when auditors finally looked, hundreds of human engineers in India were manually writing the code themselves, line by line, dressed up to look like it came from a machine. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how a fake AI company reached unicorn status, what actually triggered its collapse, and why this exact failure mode is quietly waiting inside a lot more startups than anyone wants to admit. Welcome to Digital Dread, the AI safety lab, where the threats are real and the technology is already here. Here's the case. The company was Builder.ai, founded in London in 2016, originally under the name Engineer.ai. Its pitch was seductive and, on paper, exactly what the AI boom promised. Describe the app you want in natural language, and an AI system called Natasha would assemble it automatically from pre-built components, cutting development time and cost by a claimed 60 to 80% compared to hiring a traditional dev team. By 2023, the company had raised over $445 million in funding, reached a valuation north of $1.5 billion, and counted the Microsoft's venture arm among its backers, along with the Qatar Investment Authority and other major institutional investors. The unraveling started with the numbers, not the technology. In May 2025, reporting first surfaced that Builder.ai's actual 2024 revenue was roughly $50 million, far below the $220 million the company had been claiming to investors and press. That gap alone would be a serious problem for any startup. But investigators who dug further found something more specific and more damaging: evidence of round-tripping, an accounting practice where a company and a business partner send money back and forth to each other in a way that inflates the apparent revenue on both sides without either party actually gaining real business value. Builder.ai's own board eventually confirmed that a significant share of its reported 2024 revenue had been generated through exactly this kind of circular transaction. Then came the detail that gave the company its lasting reputation as a cautionary tale, rather than just another accounting scandal. Multiple former employees and independent technology reporters confirmed that Natasha, the AI system marketed as building apps automatically, was in large part not doing that at all. A substantial portion of the actual coding work was being performed by human engineers, many based in India, effectively functioning as the AI's hidden labor behind an interface designed to make the process look automated. This wasn't a case of an AI system needing occasional human correction, which is normal and disclosed at plenty of legitimate AI companies. Reporting indicated the human involvement was core to delivering the product, while the company's public marketing and investor materials continued to frame the process as AI-driven automation. There's a specific mechanical detail worth understanding about how the round-tripping worked, because it explains why it took so long to catch. Builder.ai had a business relationship with a company called Verse Innovation, an Indian tech firm. Reporting indicated that money flowed from Builder.ai to Verse for advertising services, and a large portion of that same money flowed back to Builder.ai booked as revenue from Verse using Builder.ai's platform, creating the appearance of real, independent customer revenue on Builder.ai's books when the underlying cash was substantially the company's own money moving in a circle. Because both companies were real, operating businesses with legitimate activities alongside this arrangement, the transactions didn't immediately read as fraudulent to outside observers reviewing surface-level financial statements. It took forensic-level accounting analysis, not a casual read of the numbers, to identify the pattern. The company collapsed fast once the true financial picture became public. Builder.ai filed for insolvency in May 2025, cut roughly 1,000 jobs, and its remaining assets were sold off in the aftermath. Founder Sachin Dev Duggal, who had built a public profile as a prominent voice in the London tech scene, saw his professional reputation collapse alongside the company. Lawsuits and creditor claims followed, and the case became one of the most cited examples of what industry observers started calling AI washing, The practice of marketing an ordinary or partially automated product as artificial intelligence to command venture capital valuations and press attention that the underlying technology doesn't actually justify. Microsoft's position in this story deserves its own clarification because headlines often oversimplified it. Microsoft had invested in Builder.ai and also had a cloud services arrangement with the company. When the fraud became public, Microsoft reportedly moved to distance itself, and Builder.ai's bankruptcy filings referenced a substantial secured debt owed to Viola Credit, a separate lender, whose enforcement action was one of the direct triggers for the company's May 2025 collapse and asset seizure. Microsoft's venture arm's initial investment, like those of the other institutional backers, was effectively wiped out in the collapse, which is itself part of why prestigious investor backing should never be treated as proof that a company's core technology claims are true. Sophisticated investors do real diligence, but diligence checks financial and legal structure far more rigorously than it checks a specific technical claim like, "This system is genuinely AI-driven," especially when a working demo and plausible growth. Numbers are already in front of them. Here's why this matters beyond one company's collapse. Builder.ai wasn't a tiny operation nobody vetted. It passed due diligence from institutional investors, received backing tied to Microsoft's venture arm, and operated for the better part of a decade before the gap between its marketing and its actual technology became public. That's the uncomfortable lesson for anyone evaluating an AI-powered product today. Due diligence at even a serious institutional level did not catch this for years. The company had built a compelling demo, a plausible technical narrative, and a growth story investors wanted to believe. And those three things carried it further than its actual underlying capability could. Independent researchers who study the AI washing phenomenon point to a few recurring warning signs worth knowing. First, vague technical explanations. Legitimate AI companies can generally describe, at some level of detail, what model architecture or approach their system uses. Companies hiding non-AI labor behind a marketed AI product tend to stay deliberately vague about the how. Second, headcount that doesn't match the claimed automation. A company claiming to have automated away most of a labor-intensive process shouldn't simultaneously be growing a large delivery team to do that exact work manually. Third, revenue and growth figures that outpace any plausible technical explanation for how the product actually improved. None of these signs alone proves fraud. Together, in Builder.ai's case, they were all present for years before regulators, the press, and eventually the company's own board caught up to what was really happening. Builder.ai isn't an isolated case, either. It's just the most cited one because of the size of the number involved. Regulators and researchers tracking this trend point to a wider pattern across the venture-funded AI sector, sometimes called AI washing, where products ranging from customer service chatbots to automated trading tools have been found, on closer inspection, to rely on significantly more human labor behind the scenes than their marketing implied. In several smaller, less publicized cases, companies were found routing customer requests to offshore human workers who typed responses that a chat interface then displayed as if a language model had generated them instantly. The Builder.ai case simply reached a scale and a valuation that made the collapse impossible to ignore or quietly settle out of public view. It's worth being precise about what is and isn't established here. What's documented through reporting, board findings, and the company's own insolvency filings is the revenue round-tripping and the significant human labor behind the Natasha product. What remains part of ongoing legal proceedings, as of this recording, is the full extent of individual culpability and exactly how much of the company's engineering, at various points in its history, was genuinely AI-assisted versus manually performed and mislabeled. This video reports what has been publicly confirmed, not the outcome of litigation still working through the courts. The broader AI industry hasn't slowed down because of this. If anything, the pressure to claim AI-powered status for basic automation or manual back-end processes has only intensified as investor enthusiasm for anything AI-labeled has grown. And the funding numbers involved across the sector have only gotten larger since Builder.ai's collapse, not smaller. Builder.ai is simply the case where the gap between the marketing and the machine became large enough and public enough to collapse $1 billion valuation in a matter of weeks, taking 1,000 jobs and years of accumulated institutional trust down with it. So the next time a product claims its AI is doing something remarkable, ask the question that took years to get asked about Builder.ai. What, specifically, is the model actually doing? And who, specifically, is doing the rest? What AI claim do you want us to fact-check next? Tell us in the comments, and subscribe to Digital Dread. We don't take the pitch deck's word for it.